So, unless you've been living under a rock, the Diddy trial has started last week, and the first witness or the first person to take the stand has been Cassie, who was, a victim of Diddy's abuse. However, I heard a take the other day that really scuffed my Timbs, and I want to share it with y'all to give my reaction to this take. So, Joe Budden Podcast, have at it.
Willie D says, I know some of you are about to be tight over what I'm about to say, but I'll take my chances. See, Willie D is braving the niggas already. He jumping out there, but that's why I fuck with him. Yeah. I don't have a dog in the fight, but using Cassie's
I don't have a dog in the fight. You already lost me. Go ahead.
Youth as a blanket excuse for the choices she made. Willie D says, I know some of you are about to be tight over what I'm about to say, but I'll take my chances. See, Willie D is braving the niggas already. He jumping out there, but that's why I fuck with him. Yeah. I don't have a dog in the fight, but using Cassie's youth as a blanket excuse for the choices she made during her decade-long relationship with Diddy is problematic because it removes the necessary element of accountability, without which no one learns or grows. Diddy and Cassie is a cautionary tale for men who use their money and power to abuse others. On the flip side, it tells young women who will come after Cassie, no matter what you get yourself into and who gets hurt, as long as you are young, you won't be held accountable. By her own admission,
did I just hear Flip with a
she stayed not out of fear, but because she didn't want another woman to take her place. Cassie is not some helpless victim. She is a savvy home-wrecking opportunist who left Ryan Leslie for Diddy, knowing he was with Kim Porter, simply to upgrade her lifestyle. Turning both Kim and Ryan into collateral damage. And let's not forget the kids. In court, she testified that she enjoyed the freak-offs, just not as often as Diddy did. She ultimately left him for the trainer he paid for, tried to blackmail him for $30 million, and when that failed, sued him and walked away with $20 million. Now that she's the prosecution star witness trying to bury him, yes, Diddy was abusive and should have been punished for it. But let's not pretend Cassie didn't cash in after every black... No, I don't feel comfortable saying that. I don't feel comfortable reading the last slide of that.
Some of that I kind of get the gist of, but I think the main thing that's important is that Cassie's not on trial.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
And I think he's wrong about all of that. I think we have to start from there, right? Cassie's not on trial.
And also the term home wrecker, I'm just like, why does the onus always put on the woman?
There's so many things, and I love Willie D, but I have to disagree with him on a few of those things. One, I don't think holding people accountable for the harm they cause means that the victims don't have accountability. Two, is just not the point. If I were to, you got that very expensive chain on, and if you were to walk through a really terrible neighborhood at 3 a.m. unarmed by yourself with that chain on, you might get robbed.
I know not to do it.
You know, right? But when you get robbed, yeah, I would say to you, you made some bad choices. Yeah. But that doesn't negate the fact that the person who you should be able to do that.
About Mark, you actually helping. I've been quiet.
Like, it's just that's a great analogy. It's like, yes, I know if I go to a certain neighborhood, Dolo or whatever, I could get robbed. Yes, I know that. But it still doesn't negate the fact that I should not get robbed. Like, two things, like, it don't, it's like, I just don't understand this unwillingness to hold Diddy and people like Diddy accountable for their actions. It's like, we just can't do that. It has to be, yeah, but Cassidy shoulda, like, you looking for people like Cassie to be the perfect victim to where they're this angel that did no wrong. Like, we're not saying Cassie, we're not saying Cassie was an angel, that she didn't have some involvement in what was going on. But at the end of the day, Diddy was the abuser. Cassie was the victim, along with the long other line of victims. Why are we putting the victims on trial? Thus, why victims never come forward. Because we don't build an ecosystem to where they can come forward, because as soon as they come forward, what do? We interrogate them and don't make them feel safe. Therefore, this happens. But go ahead. Continue.
But you actually helping the other side. You don't even see it.
I agree with that.
You're really helping the other side. Because what I know I shouldn't be out in the hood at 3 a.m. with my chains on.
But why? Because there's predators there.
But here's the problem. No, but here's the problem. Here's the real issue. The real issue is how.
No, but don't lose that point. Though,
okay,
right?
no, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to answer that. The way men see the world and the way women see the world, right? So the way men see the world, if you're my woman, I'm gonna be like, yo, babe, don't wear that because I know how men are. Now you'll say that's not how men's supposed to be. They shouldn't be that way. But men are smart enough to know that that's not the way the world works. Just because you wear I should be able to wear my chain everywhere, but I'm smart enough to know where the wolves are. Right, so my thing is when you lay with wolves, you almost got to know you laying with a wolf.
So hold on. But to your point, what if you didn't know that?
Right, and that's part of where the 19
thing comes in. You didn't know what?
And that's part to not wear your chain there. There's what if you didn't grow up anywhere near the hood, don't know nothing about being robbed, robbery, nothing like that, but you watched TV and saw a chain and got a chain.
Yep.
And now you wearing it somewhere where somebody with some street sense would know not to wear that there, but you don't know because you're not from there, never been there.
And when we see him,
because you're young and inexperienced in that life.
And guess what happens? Usually somebody says, "Yo, you know where you at? Put that chain away." You know.
Or you know what else they say? Let me get that chain up.
That's my point.
Dog.
Exactly. You're right. That's right too.
Those are chances.
But at the end of the day, the point is you should live in the ideal world isn't one where you hide from the predators. It's one where there aren't predators. And in this case, I just feel like, again, I might, if Cassie were my sister, my mom might be like, "Yo, that's a bad situation to get into." All true. But at the end of the day, the question is, did Diddy do harm? But and the second thing, and I want you to jump in, I just want to just finish this thought real quick. The second thing, though, to me is that doesn't necessarily mean that the legal standard for the crime in this case was met, right? Because
that's my only concern.
Go. Yeah, which I agree. So that's where it comes down to trusting Cassie's word or Diddy's. But what I don't want us to do is to believe that because someone came back home, because someone didn't run at the first sight, because someone enjoyed a freak off, that means necessarily that they weren't being captive.
There's a literal video. Like, what are we talking about? Like, there's a literal video of her trying to escape and got hands and feet put on her. Y'all will have the other, not Mark, shout out to Mark Lamont, because he's saving Joe Budden podcast. I'm just going to point that out. He's been a saving grace of that podcast, because it was for him. I don't even know how they would still be around. But, like, the other side, I don't even know what the other side, I don't even know what they're trying to argue on the other side. But the other side will have an argument if there was an actual video of Cassie trying to escape. Her words, a freak off, and she got manhandled by Diddy. Then what makes it worse is the full video came out where security came out and knew there was an issue. The guy that had the security footage, whoever that was, got paid $100,000. This is why someone like if a Cassie can't be protected, no, I don't give a fuck how much money he gave you. You go to the police. You say, hey, I'm seeing this woman get beat. Let me call the police. So what you do? Nothing. I'm talking about a person that works security at the hotel, whatever hotel Cassie and Diddy were at. This is why women can't, like, I don't even understand, like, what we're arguing right now. Like, I don't even know, like, what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean they were.
But how though?
The example that I gave, that Mel gave it, is that lots of people who are victims of things end up developing a psychological condition where they stay. Again, children get kidnapped. They get brought to a whole new city. They know they have other parents. And if the kidnapper stays with them long enough, they can send them to the store and the kid will come back.
That's true.
Enslaved people will literally leave a plantation and then go back. Or be afraid to leave.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean slavery wasn't bad.
That's true.
So all I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying that we know everything that happened in Cassie and Diddy's house. I'm just saying that I wouldn't assume that because she stayed a long time, that's proof that Diddy didn't do it.
Mark, real quick, you just stated that Cassie's not on trial here, right? That's what you said.
Yes.
But on the flip hand is that the stuff that Diddy's being accused of, he's the the stuff that he's on trial for does not fit the circumstances right now and what's being said.
That's my only problem.
That's
why them saying Cassie's not on trial.
Like, he's not on trial for being an abuser, a manipulator, for taking advantage. He's on trial for sex trafficking and whatever the other two are.
But here's the problem.
Y'all, if I'm looking from Puff's POV, y'all are saying I sex trafficked my girl.
Who I'm supposed to take care of.
This is my girlfriend. Y'all, and I know that it's easy to paint Puff as the monster. He's done a great job of it himself. Yeah. But nobody is that 100% of the time. Part of his manipulation and bullshit is the charm and all of that goes along with. Mm-hmm. So what do you do when Puff's attorney is saying there were times where he was fully functional on the drugs and you kept going?
To be clear,
let me finish. What do you do when the Puff's attorney is saying, hey, there were times when Puff was urging you that we can't freak off. You have a role that you have to get ready for. We can't do this. And you were the person that continued and urged this to go on. Like, it's not just the picture that y'all are painting. And again, it falls on which side you believe. Yeah. Do you believe that he was sex trafficking Cassie? And again, I think that they're going to get him with the next few. I just don't think they did a great job with Cassie.
For clarity, for my sake and for the listener's sake, isn't most of the sex trafficking not regarding her being sex trafficked, but the prostitutes and other people that were being brought in?
She basically sets the stage because she was there and present for and also instructed having sex with them and instructed to quote unquote purchase them, purchase their time.
Right.
All we're talking about is their sexual moments, and this is a RICO trial. If this is a domestic violence trial or a state trial, I wouldn't care.
Because I think they have to set the stage.
Here's why it matters. Here's why it's relevant. And I agree. The domestic abuse as such is not on trial.
Yes.
But the problem is when you're trying with sex trafficking, because of those elements of coercion or fraud or force.
Yes.
You need to establish.
I have to establish how you're using force and how you're coercing somebody.
Thank you. Again, thank God for Mark Lamont, dog. It's like, I just don't understand. So Joe Budden is saying, hey, I know he was an abuser and all this, but okay, y'all taking it too far with the sex trafficking now. It's just like, what? Huh? Like, what? It's just like, y'all taking it too far now. Y'all going a little bit too far now. It's just like, nigga, what? I can understand the fact of there being texts and whatever of Cassie being into, the freak offs at a certain points or whatever, But that does not negate the entire relationship as well as what's been going on in terms of the freak offs or whatever. Like, I think it comes down to who can you see as the victim. And what's funny is when you listen to Joe Budden, the Ray dude, Flip, and I love Flip. But when you listen to these dudes, they feel Diddy is the victim. Like, when you listen to him, it's like Diddy was the victim. Like, she was after him for his money, and even though he manipulated it's like he's a victim of the system. He's a victim of these gold diggers trying to take him for his money. And it's like they can't see through the prism of the woman being the victim. They can only see through the prism of the man being the victim. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Again, I'm not saying Cassie did not get involved and do certain things. I'm not saying that. But to try to say, well, because Cassie's whole plate wasn't clean, then Diddy, there's no way you can look at Diddy. It's like, no, nigga. I think two things can be true, motherfucker. Like, Cassie could have got involved in the freak offs or whatever. It did some nasty things. But also, Sean, Puff, Diddy, Daddy Combs coerced that situation. It was a manipulating and mentally, physically, and spiritually abused Cassie to a point to where she felt like there was no way out. She literally got abused in a hotel where the security got paid off. And we didn't know about it till like 8 years later. What are we talking about?
we're saying, well, he's beating the shit out of me, and if I don't do it, he's going to beat the shit out of me again. When people get trafficked in other countries, that's often it's the fear that they take your green card or your documentation, but it's also the fear that they'll cut you or shoot you or beat you. So the fear of violence is a form of enforcement of sex trafficking. Mm-hmm. And so I think y'all are right in the implicit point y'all are making, and I agree with you, which is the prosecution is not just using it for that purpose, but they're trying to make the jury they want the jury to prosecute Puff for being a monster, not for the particular crime, but they do have a legitimate...
And they're doing a great job at that.
Yes.
They're doing a great job at just, this guy's a piece of shit, convict him off that.
That's what it really is.
We shouldn't need anything more.
That's true. But it just so happens that his piece of shit habits are relevant for the conversation.
Mark, but what he's doing, he was supposed to do. Like, that's my woman. I'm going to put... My girl's right there. I'm going to give her money. And we going to be... It's like, am I sex trafficking her now? Like, if she's mad at me? That's where it reads.
They talking in court. Like, they talking in court language, which is why I'm letting it rock. I'm talking on nigga shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is relevant.
Okay. That's why y'all niggas defend. I was trying to figure out why did niggas defend. That's why niggas defend. Because niggas be... I mean, we saw Joe Budden... nigga in the hallway, like, what do you think was really going on? Like, come on, son. Like, like, what do you think? Like, Joe Budden was naked in the fucking hallway. What do you think was going on? Sleepwalking. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Allegedly. You know, niggas out to come in. Allegedly. Now I'm starting to see why niggas, okay. Because niggas are into... okay. See, now... okay. All right. I got it now. I get it now. That's why niggas offended, because they into the shit. Okay, cool. Got you.
And nigga shit and Parks.
Exactly.
It is relevant that she was with Ryan Leslie prior to ever meeting Dude.
It has nothing to do with absolutely nothing. That's not relevant at all. That is a sucker, stupid argument. I don't understand how that has to do anything with anything. Like, we put Cassie on trial for her getting with Diddy after leaving Ryan Leslie to give it a trainer, but yet you don't prosecute the nigga for everything he's done and how he treated Kim Porter. You want to read that book? Can we? Oh, that book just came out because oh yeah. Did you read that book? Like, how is it? I was just gonna say, like, Cassie, the home wrecker, and she ruined her. It's just like, y'all niggas is different, son.
And y'all saying she's not on trial, but she kind of is. Because her behavior in the past is relevant to what happens with this man's future.
Well, how so? Just say more. I'm not following. How so?
They painting her as a fast little hussy.
Got it. That's what you're saying.
They paint her as somebody that maybe didn't have shit, didn't have no way of ever having shit.
I see what you're saying.
And saw a powerful man, was attracted to that, left the nigga she was with, deaded him, and went and signed up for all this shit, maybe not knowing what she was getting into. I don't want to sound like, I don't think she knew.
But I think that might be that.
So, that is not relevant to, like, unless you're saying Cassie got fully involved with Diddy, knowing that he was doing freak-offs, doing all these other things, sex trafficking, all these other things. Unless she fully was aware and was into that and all these different things, unless that's the argument you're trying to make, all off for just a few texts or whatever, and because she was into him, like, we all haven't had, again, she was... It's like, you can't, like, nigga, what? Saying, oh, she can't use the whole, she was young. It's like, nigga, what? What? Like, what? Cassie was how old when she got into the business? And then only dropped one album in like a decade? Why you think that was? It's like, we can't be used. Okay, so we can't use that she was young. We can't use that she was abused physically and mentally. We can't use that. We can't use none of that. We can't use that Diddy was powerful. He was blowing up people's cars and stuff like. We can't use none of that. But what we will use is that, well, this one text from this one time to where Cassie said that she was into the freak-offs. That's the one piece of evidence that we care about. We don't care about everything else that we have seen when we have actual video. Like, that's what I just don't... we have actual video of her trying to escape the nigga. And you want to tell me, but it still doesn't prove that she was sex trafficking. It doesn't prove that he was sex trafficking. That's his girl. He can do. It's like, first of all, women are not men's possessions. I think, like, also that's a conversation that I don't know if you noticed it or not, but women are not men's possessions. I don't care if that's his girl, his wife, his mom, his sister, his auntie. She has free reign to do what she want to do, my nigga. I don't understand the argument of that's my no, nigga. Like, sex trafficking is sex trafficking, my nigga. But again, I think it comes from a space to where a lot of y'all niggas. I'm not gonna say Joe Budden is into whatever. You know, that's irresponsible of me. But I think a lot of you niggas, especially you entertainers, y'all into that freaky diggy stuff. And I don't kink shame, but I think a lot of y'all are into that stuff. And y'all trying to reevaluate in your mind if y'all were doing that or not. So now you're protecting Diddy because you're like, damn, but I was sex trafficking? Was I involved? Nah. So what you do, you protect the abuser by going after the victim. I think that's also what's happening here too. But, you know, it's all assumptions. We're all just making assumptions now. It's all who you believe, right? Nigga started off with who you want to believe. It's like, nigga, what do you... All right, go.
I don't think so either, but I think what you just painted might be the story. She might have been like, that's a lick. She might have got in there and said, fuck Kim. She might have got in all that shit.
Right?
He did. He did a lot.
The fake flying.
The fake event.
To take her away from him. Mm-hmm. So it don't necessarily mean that...
She slid again with Cuddy. She was with Cuddy and slid again. She slid every time he asked her to slide. Stop with this Cassie innocent shit. I can't. Me neither. I don't think she's all the way innocent in it. I also think she's a victim and he's going away and horrible things were done. But I think they both was on some shit.
Wow. See, you know what's so funny about Joe? Joe went from being a person that gave his opinion, like when he was on High 97, then he went to Complex, then he had his own joint with Roy Mal, where he would give his opinion, and then he got to a point to where he asked everybody for their opinion before he gave his opinion. But I was waiting for him to actually say what he'd been wanting to say. So what he been wanting to say was, I don't see Cassie, stop with all this Cassie is innocent, da-da-da-da-da. That's what he been waiting to, that's what he wanted to get off from the get-go. But he was trying to sow the seeds by acting like Willie D. Oh, the great Willie D. No, that's how you feel, nigga. Just say it with your chest, nigga. Stop this whole, I gotta go and get Willie D. So that, it's like, stop it. Willie D. Respected him, but it's like, nigga, really? Stop it, my nigga. You read off another nigga's fucking opinion to start off with like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, son. That's what you wanted to say. You don't see Cassie as this innocent person because she got with other niggas? So let me get this right. Cassie wasn't allowed to get with other niggas, but Diddy was allowed to do whatever. Mind you, a lot of what's been coming up is a lot of those relationships weren't consensual. What Diddy was doing. But you want to condemn Cassie because she got with other niggas? Am I understanding that right? Are y'all sick in the fucking head? Are y'all sick in the head? She got with Kid Cudi. She got with Ryan Leslie. She got with this nigga. But I thought it was about the money. That's what is still not correlating to me. I thought it was about the money. Because according to y'all, she was involved in this and did everything because of the money, right? A lot of it was motivated because of the money, right? So then why would she get with the trainer? Why would she get with Kid Cudi if it was all about the money?
Let me ask you the question. If he's the one on trial and you believe that she's the victim and he's going away, why are we worried about how we painting her?
Because I know, because the niggas that was outside for a while don't look at that as artist to CEO. That's why. Because Cassie put her song out, and nobody that had 2 cents in the music business thought Cassie's coming out with more music.
She's the fire.
Nobody thought that. And we've seen mad times. Carisha just fucking did it.
Yep.
What are we talking about? I know we in court, so cool.
Yeah.
But don't act like we don't know the bitches that see the CEO, think I can get with him, and I'm never doing music again. So wait, they make that trade all the time. I'm not
all
talking about
the time, Joe.
No, I understand. So, question, because from what I remember, we can actually look it up. I feel like it's not like her debut album was a dud. You know what I'm saying? So in the way that you're saying that nobody had any expectations that she was going to have another album, I don't think that that's necessarily true.
That girl was
from the inside, Melissa. Okay, so if you're in the music business,
I think the other people may have.
If you're in the music business, you got to understand her coming in. We all knew she was a Ryan Leslie creation. Ryan Leslie's girlfriend that he created, he produced everything, and then she left Ryan Leslie being his creation and becomes Puff Creation.
This literally is irrelevant. Again, I don't understand how this is relevant to anything that we're if we're trying to make the case that Cassie knew what she was doing and that she looked at Diddy as a lick. Fine, we can all. I have no problem to conceding to that fact if that was the case. Again, I wasn't there. But if you want to concede the fact that Cassie looked at Diddy as a lick, right, to get money, okay. But I'll concede that point. But what the fuck does that got to do with the price in fucking China? So I think for a lot of y'all, you just looked at Cassie. Y'all just look at Cassie as someone who looked at Diddy as a money move, and y'all will not get off that point. Even though it doesn't matter, the video that came out of her trying to escape, got abused, all that don't matter to y'all. All y'all care about is, but Diddy, they were going after his money because that's the true thing we have to protect, right? Not the woman. We got to protect our money because that's what we love. That's what we protect.
Because whatever it is, it might have been bigger.
Okay.
But the part that bothers me is that we don't acknowledge what really happens. What happens is that Puff brings, because we hate Puff so much, right? We hate him, right? I get that. But this was an employee of his, a trainer that he hired to train him and her, that takes her away. She writes a book basically saying, give me $20 million for this, $30 million for this and this. Nobody, and the personal trainer, the white guy just walking around like he's harmless. Dog, Puff's not a great person. I can get that. But that don't mean he deserves everything worse and he's the only bad. This is not a Tyler Perry movie where he's only one bad guy. It's bad people in every scenario.
He's the one the feds went and got and is on trial.
And he's who they want. But my point is that
she's the author that got immunity. See, we don't never pay no mind to.
Fuck him. It's really that simple. I don't even know. This is not even complicated for me. I know niggas in the industry, they love niggas like Diddy, Harvey Weinstein because they really want to be them for real. And again, they don't care about the women. They don't care about protecting the women. They care about protecting the money because it always go back to the money. Look at every conversation that you see. What does it always go back to? It goes back to what? The money. That's who they feel needs to be protected. Y'all niggas is different, bro. Y'all niggas is different. But then again, no, y'all niggas are just alike. All y'all niggas. That's why niggas can get away with doing stuff for 30 fucking years. 30, 40 years. We'll find out 30, 40 Cosby. 30, 40, that's why niggas get away. R. Kelly had stuff on tape and niggas still got away with it. Because we don't protect women, nigga. Then you had the nerve to, you're always going pandering to women. I'd rather be on that side of the argument than be on the other side. Because I have a mother. I have nieces. I have cousins. Girl best friends. I'd much rather be on that side. And I know that throughout the history of society. Yeah, there have been a lot of cry wolf and Emmett Tills of the situation, but there are a lot of victims that never come forward because we don't live in a society that protects them, as we're seeing right now. So, but those are my thoughts. Again, we just got done the first week of Diddy being on trial. Who knows how long this trial going to be? I wish it was televised. I would love to see that, but we probably won't because I think it's federal, so we won't be able to see it. But I think next up is I think there's a lot of people up. But yeah, I just pray for everyone involved. I pray for all the victims. I pray for, again, everyone involved, and hopefully they can heal throughout this entire process. Again, shout out to Cassie for having the courage to even come forward. Being 8 months pregnant. Hot damn. Like, comment, subscribe, share all the things are the things. Hold it down is what we do. Me.